Hello and welcome. In this video, we'll guide you through installing, demounting, and mounting a tire using the LCTX 3rd Generation EZ Tire Changer. Before installation and use, please read the user manual carefully and watch this entire video. When you receive your EZ Tire Changer, start by laying the provided anti-abrasion protective mat on a clean floor. This protects both your workspace and the equipment. Verify that you have all the heavy-duty components: the duck head assembly and connection arm, the bead breaker shovel assembly and pull rod locking mechanism, the leverage fulcrum block, centering cones, and center support mast. Also, locate the run-flat leverage pull rod, main power lever bar, tire iron, and rotation turntable base. Lastly, identify the quick-release safety pin, hex wrench, crescent wrench, and your bonus parts. Before you begin, wear protective gloves and proper eye protection. Keep your hands clear of moving parts and put safety first. Let's get started with the assembly installation. Step 1. We'll prep the bead breaker shovel assembly. Slide the pull rod locking mechanism onto the main tubular arm. Then, install the retaining washers and locking bolts to secure it. Next, slide the shovel pivot collar onto the end of the main arm, aligning it flush with the mounting holes. Crucial tip: the collar features an asymmetrical design. You must ensure the wider profile faces inboard and the narrower profile faces outboard. Position the bead breaker shoe inside the pivot collar. Install the washer and locking nut and apply the appropriate torque. If extra stabilization is required for tough tires, insert the quick-release safety pin into the dedicated mounting hole. Now, let's move to the center support mast, which is the primary vertical column that anchors your attachments. Loosen the securing bolt on the mast. Insert the connection arm directly into it until it is fully seated and tighten it down. Now you can easily mount the bead breaker or duck head onto this arm. To assemble the duck head, slide the leverage fulcrum block onto the square mounting stem of the duck head assembly. Insert the stem into the multi-tool connection hub and tighten the primary securing bolt. Finally, insert the connection arm through the recessed face of the rotation turntable base. Align it with the multi-tool connection hub and tighten the locking nuts using your hex wrench. And that's it! You've successfully assembled your EZ Tire Changer and are ready to get to work. Hello! In this section of the video, we will guide you through the EZ Tire Changer operational procedures, starting with the bead breaking process. Before we begin, lay the provided protective mat on the floor and place the tire flat on it to avoid any cosmetic damage to the wheel hub. Step 1. Remove the valve core to release all the air from the tire. You must use a valve core tool to unscrew it and release the tire to total atmospheric pressure. Never attempt to operate on a pressurized tire. Next, let's secure the wheel. Insert the temporary alignment threaded rod into the wheel hub fixture assembly. Align the metal protruding pins on the fixture and insert them directly into the lug nut holes of your wheel. Then, thread the center fixture from the bottom up through the wheel hub's center hole. Crucial step: double-check that the metal protruding pins are perfectly seated inside the wheel's lug nut holes. Only after verifying this, select the appropriate centering cone based on your rim's center bore and slide it onto the mast. Install the primary locking nut, and you must apply final torque using your crescent wrench to lock this down completely tight. Once secure, remove the alignment threaded rod from the wheel hub fixture assembly. Insert the connection arm directly into the fixture assembly. Finally, check the locking nut on the back of the wheel hub fixture assembly. Ensure it is fully tightened so the wheel hub is absolutely stable and will not shift or move during the following operations. Bead braking, front side. For extreme pulling power, insert the run-flat leverage pull rod downwards through the rim. Mount the bead breaker shovel assembly onto the rod and securely tighten the locking nut. Important safety note: you must maintain a clearance of approximately 1 centimeter between the bead breaker shoe and the edge of the rim. Ensure it does not contact the rim directly to avoid any cosmetic damage. The bar must be secured and tightened. Now, insert the main power lever bar into the first hole for progressive leverage. Remember, always maintain a firm, two-handed grip on the main power lever bar when applying force. Keep your hands clear of the pinch area to prevent injury. Here is the proper technique. Use the hex wrench to loosen the fine-tuning structural bolt before applying downward force to increase your depth. Press down firmly and then re-tighten the bolt. This step is crucial to ensure the heavy steel assembly will not violently rebound or spring back at you. Then, relocate the lever bar to the next sequential hole. Loosen the bolt, press down again, and re-tighten. Repeat this progressive procedure until the top tire bead is completely separated from the rim. Bead braking, reverse side. Once the top bead is broken, it is time to flip the wheel. But first, a critical safety warning. When loosening the fine-tuning structural bolt to release the tension, your hands must remain safely above the flat operating surface. It is strictly forbidden to place your hands underneath the locking mechanism or in the contact gap, as the heavy steel assembly will immediately rebound and spring back. Safely remove the main power lever bar, the bead breaker shovel assembly, and the run-flat leverage pull rod. Now, flip the wheel over to expose the bottom side. Reinstall the run-flat leverage pull rod and mount the bead breaker shovel assembly, ensuring the connecting nuts are fully tightened. Insert the main power lever bar and repeat the exact same progressive 3-hole leverage process. Apply incremental downward pressure, remembering to secure the fine-tuning structural bolt with your hex wrench at each depth, until the bottom bead is completely dislodged from the rim barrel. After both beads are fully separated, remove the bead breaker shovel assembly and the run-flat leverage pull rod to completely clear the machine. Congratulations! Your tire is fully separated and ready for demounting. Now that the bead is fully broken, we move on to step 2, removing the tire from the rim. First, invert the wheel so the front face of the rim is facing upward. Install the connection arm and securely tighten the nut. Next, install the rotation turntable base. Insert the multi-tool connection hub onto the connection arm and slide the duck head assembly into the hub. You can adjust the nut under the connection hub to set the proper position, ensuring the duck head assembly can rotate freely. Now, carefully maneuver the duck head so it aligns directly above the valve stem. Here is the critical zero-damage calibration. You must adjust the duck head so it maintains both a vertical and horizontal clearance of approximately 5 millimeters from the rim. The duck head must be suspended and never directly contact the metal rim. Once perfectly positioned, firmly tighten all locking nuts. Lubrication and the upper bead. Next, apply a generous, even layer of tire mounting lubricant to the bead contact surface. To help the bead sink into the rim's drop center groove, install the bead depressor clip directly opposite the valve stem. Now, insert the tire iron under the duck head to a depth of about 50 millimeters. Pry the first upper bead up and rest it onto the duck head's holding slot. Press the tire iron firmly downward and lock the handle securely under the rotation turntable base. Insert the main power lever bar into the turntable hole. Utilizing the leverage fulcrum block, apply steady rotational force. Walk the lever around using the turntable's mechanical leverage to completely separate the top bead from the rim. The lower bead and extraction. Next, we will remove the second inner bead. Rotate the duck head until it is positioned directly below the valve stem. Use your tire iron to lift the lower tire bead, inserting the pry bar at the bottom to place the inner bead over the duck head. Just like before, press the tire iron downward and secure it under the rotation turntable base. Insert the main power lever bar and rotate the turntable using that. Welcome to the final step, the tire mounting procedure. Step 1 is the lower bead. Before we begin, ensure both sides of the tire bead are fully lubricated with tire mounting paste. Adjust the duck head so it is positioned directly on the opposite side of the valve stem. Place the new tire at a tilted angle, resting the lower bead over the tail of the duck head. Insert the main power lever bar into the turntable. Apply steady force and rotate the assembly one full round, 360 degrees. You will see the lower bead slide smoothly under the duck head and drop perfectly into the rim. Step 2 is installing the upper bead. Once again, adjust the duck head so it sits directly opposite the valve stem. Apply another even layer of tire lubricant directly to the bead's contact surface. To prevent damaging the tire bead during this final stretch, we highly recommend using a bead depressor clip. Clamp it onto the tire to ensure the bead is pushed down and stays securely inside the rim's center groove, also known as the drop center. At the same time, ensure the upper tire bead is resting above the duck head. Alternative technique. If you do not have a bead depressor clip, you can use the downward power of your foot to step on the tire bead, pressing it into the drop center while simultaneously using the lever bar. Using the mechanical leverage of the rod, steadily rotate the turntable. Once you hear that satisfying pop sound, your tire is perfectly mounted into the rim. First, remove your bead depressor clip. Next, sequentially loosen the locking nuts on your equipment. Remove the duck head assembly, the connection arm, and the centering cone. Finally, loosen and remove the wheel hub assembly. Important safety reminder. After the tire is successfully mounted on the rim and you refill the tire pressure, you must perform a proper tire balancing before driving the vehicle on the road. If you have any questions about the installation process, need technical support, or want to download the full digital manual, please visit our website at eztirechanger.com. Thank you for watching the official LCTX EZ Tire Changer Guide, and drive safe.